Hello, my name is Andrea-Jane Cornell. I'm a sound artist, musician, and radio artist, and I'm going to present some of my favorite places to go on the internet, different artists who inspire me in my work. So, the first place, as somebody who really loves the radio, this is an online shortwave radio tuner that allows you to scroll across the bands. It's really nice that you can kind of see where there's like colors here. You can go and find things, source some audio for different types of projects, or just, have it playing in the background. That is something that is of interest to you. There's different parameters that you can change here, which is pretty cool as well. The next thing I'm going to talk about and share is the Transmission Arts website. It's basically has a repository for a bunch of different artists, and the repository is continually growing. Bunch of different artists who create works with the electromagnetic spectrum and transmitted on the airwaves and through public presentation. You can just easily click through to get an artist bio, a link to their website, and sometimes a little bit of a radio piece that the fellowship in residence at the Wave Farm, which is tied to the Transmission Arts Network, is preparing. They have a yearly fellowship for someone to work on building this repository and this great resource for radio artists and transmission artists. Christina Kubich is a woman who works within that realm, has been working with electromagnetic spectrum for so many years, and she has created these headphones that you can go out and experience the world of electromagnetic sound and experience cities in a way that you wouldn't necessarily experience them without these headphones. Like, you can't hear these lights in this way, normally speaking. And what it does when you don these headphones is you really navigate space in a completely different way. And have an appreciation for, or a fear perhaps, for all of these electromagnetic signals that are, vibrating throughout our world. Cornelius Cardew is an experimental musician and composer, as well as a visual artist. His treatise is a 193-page graphic score, created without any reference to established musical systems. Basically, it was a score that he created for musicians to improvise with, but really it, in the end, stands as a piece of visual art and something that has really inspired many people, including myself, as a way of a non-traditional graphical notation and compositional notation and strategy. The only constant for his piece is this line here that goes across every page. Really nice graphic work of art that refers to sound. Rita Evans is an artist that I really like, who's based out of the UK, but is currently in residence at the Bauhaus Dessau Foundation. She creates instruments that are very sculptural and are played in a collective way. Here's the one that she's actually working on right now. Her instruments are played by multiple participants, exploring that multiplicity and collectivity in performance. So here's a short clip as well. Felix Bloom is another artist that I really love. He's a sound artist engineer. He does a lot of collaborative works with communities around the world. This is his swarm installation that gives voice to 250 bees through individual speakers that represent each bee. I really like all aspects of his practice and process. For this particular project, he created like a little studio to record the bees. And basically this is the little studio here. The bees would fly in and they would record into these little microphones. Very adorable. I also love bees and all that they do for us. A trio of artists, Emily Pelstring, Catherine Klein, and Jessica Mensch, make up the Powers, and they have been making some videos of their performances, which are very mystical, very, very engrossing and mysterious. I really love seeing them perform live and also love these worlds that they're creating in their videos. Here's a little bit of a trailer for one of their videos. This is The Powers. Their work. For a little bit of comedic relief, Adventures in Jelly is a website, adventuresinjelly.com, or also has an Instagram, Adventures in Jelly. It's a UK woman called Caroline who collects antique jelly molds, and she put herself to the challenge in 2020 to bring us all joy and jiggles by posting a mold a day, and they really are glorious. I wish there was sound to them, quite honestly. I imagine many different things, but some of the things are like jewel-like and really just like glorious sculptures, triangles, jiggling for you. It's more of a little joyous discovery. And Françoise Jacques is a musician and installation artist, improviser, maker of subtle and often ridiculous sound making machines. Her work is playful, precarious, and discreet, and I love these machines that she creates and the sounds that they, you know, fill or put out into the world. Item Festival is a Maine-based musician and improviser, and really he has like a singular approach to performing with sound that's pretty unparalleled, but I'm not really sharing his performances. This is one of his videos in a series of videos called A Tuba with a Microphone in it. And, you know, he basically has been bringing this tuba with a microphone in it and recording it at various locations by the Presumpscot River, with the aim of recording the sounds of all the natural falls and dams along its course within the resonance of his instrument. It's a really nice sort of like land sound art reflection. And now we know what it sounds like inside a tuba. In terms of music, something that I've been turning to a lot lately is Folklore Tapes. It's a UK label run by David Chatton-Barker and Ian Humberstone that explores the UK's traditions of regional folklore. And they put out LPs, cassettes, books, experimental films. They're really hard to get your hands on them. They sell out very quickly, but everything is pretty much, once it's sold out, made available on Bandcamp, which is really nice. And this particular one that I was just playing is Ethereal Transects, the Lore of Celestial Objects, but they're definitely worth listening to their entire run of releases on their Bandcamp page. Last but not least, as an avid gardener, I love this seed starting calculator. So here in zone 5B, our last frost date you put in here is 05/30/2022. And when you do that and you hit enter, what it tells you is when you should start the seeds, and like calculating back from when you should start the seeds, basically based on that last frost date. So I don't think it actually did it properly. So I'm going to try that again. So say my last frost date was the 26th of May. There we go. You know, it's how many weeks to start the seeds before setting them out. So you start them from this time to this time, and then when it's safe to set them outside, and what that date should be. So it's a really good resource for people who like to start seeds and grow things in their garden. That brings us to the end. Thank you for joining me for looking at these different things that I find inspiration from on the World Wide Web, my greatest hits de l'Internet.